That's why most of Northern capitals remains ancient buildings done by water, flood, and by people. Here is different. This water affected, but people not that much bad. Not much people lives here. That's why I find remains here. For example, that one here made by Karnak, wondering about the Libyan king, the great emperor, was emperor, reached all the way to Syria, built 10 pillars, was 10. These are the largest in Upper Egypt, by the way, here. Largest in the temple of Karnak. 10 large pillars made by him. But the difference between that pillar and that remains behind close to 1,000 or 900 or 850 years. Ramesses II, 1290 BC, and Taharqa, 700 BC. You got almost like that much between these two side buildings. That's how history of Egypt. All of them kings of Egypt. Taharqa, as he made himself here a king of Egypt and built a pillar here for Amun-Ra, Alexander the Great, 300 years later, replaced the Holy of the Holies by his name, like Amun-Ra. All made themselves kings. That's how he became a king. But what I meant, guys, the these buildings broken, fallen, but that's showing us how history goes. Broken buildings like so, when we try to restore it again, we found really evidence of history. For example, these blocks, not for Ramesses the Great, originally made by a different king. His name is Akhenaten, or Amun-Hotep IV, father of Tutankhamun. Inside the temple of Karnak here, he built a big yard, dedicated for the god Atum, inside Amun building. That what makes the priest and other king get really angry. So other kings, what they had, they take the stones from Akhenaten, use it to build their own Bible. So Ramesses the Great, when he tried to build his own section here, he filled inside by stones taken from these buildings. Exactly what happened after 3,000 years and so on. So what happens to time. That means there's some kings, no one know about them anything. Of course we know, nowadays, Tutankhamun, meant to be disappeared. No one hears about Tutankhamun. Hatshepsut, first feminist in history, greatest woman in her time, should be meant to be punished. His father, Akhenaten, approved that all buildings Akhenaten built it and destroyed it and chiseled for a purpose, political purposes or political reasons. That's why it remains. And these buildings were falling, trying to restore it again. We found that, guys, if you build a building, why you do paintings inside the stones, the inside inner stones? You do the paintings from outside. You don't need to script it from inside. You don't need to paintings inside. That's what happened. Buildings were reused again by other next kings and so on. So the history we know, still we learn, still we discover, still we got like new evidence every year. And that history will never end. Still fresh and one of the oldest. So every day, every year, there might be a new discovery. Who knows? Still we value the kings, there's 2 kings never found. Many queens never found. Next Amun herself, never found. Cleopatra, all left out in the water, never found. Alexander, we know that his body here in Egypt, but the tomb never found. That's how it works, the history of Egypt. What I meant, building was totally lifted and abandoned for the last 2,000 years. Check this one, 1903. 100 years ago, that was the condition of the building. When I take it inside, you can see how it became after restored and standing again. Where Ramesses the Great built 134 large pillars like so. See how was the condition of it? Where the sand ground reached, now you get inside there. Most of these pillars, colors still remain very well. All needs just to clean it. For a long time, trying to erase it using natural materials or what we got nowadays, now we found erasing the colors. Nowadays, we use the new materials, just cleaning the dust and the dirt. Show you the original colors. Not like it was before, because these buildings, large, huge, should be all painted and every year repainted. Be quiet. Not just once and for all, that's it. Keep it quiet, get pretty. These colors still remain. Still painted, and I'll show them you guys. Still restorations happens today in Egypt. Every year I get here, or every while I get here, I figure out. 1 yard. Imagine after 10 years. From one of the Muslim sheikhs. It's a Muslim city, so the majority are Muslim. That's why they built the smaller mosques closer to the building of Luxor. Sorry? Most of these buildings are about 200 years ago, 100 years ago. When the Muslims started to rise, numbers rise. And from the beginning, after like 300 to 400 after they came to Egypt, number boat looking to the port, tied it to these holes like a hook. And that's the ram ground where they get the stones, like obelisks, big large ones. Or like stuff offers, you get everything from here. So you can see that. There from the other side you can see the stairs and steps. Real port, like all other ports and all over the world. But that's what they built it here at the entrance of the place. There you can see the stairs. See there? Can you see that? Whole entire land covered by water, flooded for the last 2,000 years. The mud there, the mud brick wall is the original one. And these bricks over 2,000 years. Order the most capitals.
Standing up in the heat next to the uncle's.
It's so interesting to think that they just lay dormant and people didn't talk about it, which is like understandable because society's changed so much, don't they?
It's so rapid.
Yes, yeah.
Like all these things.
Wow. It really makes you feel like you're.
So you find the same bricks from the right to the left. The section here includes 134 large pillars. Very, very large. Should be all moved. But not all, except the middle side section. The two main line pillars in your right and left hand you can see way big. Crowned himself on the throne of Egypt, or especially Luxor here. Made himself son of his grandfather, not his father. And he abandoned his father belief or teaching or mythology. You can say, or belief, way. Back to the old previous belief, that Amun-Ra. Script himself as son of Amun-Ra and son of Amun-Hotep III, not the fourth, his father. But he dies young. Tutankhamun died before his time. So the tomb, he cut it for himself originally, not the one we found his own body there. It was on the side of the Valley of the Kings, side area called the Valley of Monkeys. There is two tombs, tomb for Amun-Hotep III, his grandfather, and Tutankhamun. But Tutankhamun died before his time, very young. Didn't have time to finish and script the rest of his own tomb. That's why they gave him a small tomb in the middle of the Valley of the Kings. That tomb because in the center of the valley. So when it rains, the water pushing the dust and the dirt to the bottom is wider, so the water will move slower. That the dust and the dirt will rest, rising the level of the valley and covering his own tomb naturally. The rest of other tombs, you will notice it's cut in the cliff, in the mountain itself. So when the water comes from the top, it will clear your entrance, showing your entrance and covering Tutankhamun naturally. That's why that luckiest man among all. Imagine yourself became the Queen of England, the King of England, when he was just like 7 years old. And that time was the most powerful country in the world. And when you die, after 3,000 years, your history, your name, no one know about you. And your treasure perfectly protected. And you came back one of the most famous one among all. None of the old Egyptian kings, we find them even. We found the mummy of Ramesses the Great. Is it really interesting to you to see the mummy? Or like Tutankhamun's treasure? And the mummy of the child. That's how it works. He luckily became the most famous one among all. Although he is nothing. He is a child, kid. Not really a warrior, not really an invader, not really kind of like a great emperor that people should be taking him as an idol. But he was the luckiest bastard ever. I don't think so. 3 small shrubs also made by the Queen Hatshepsut. I told you guys that there's some kings, their name been chiseled. Some of them for racist reasons, some of them for political reasons. Yani, it's a matter of man or woman. Clearly. Hatshepsut, she was a woman, but she was the smartest woman and the best king among the world. That might be makes the other kings really hated here. She might be the first feminist in history. She had the first zoo, first botanical garden in history in her time. She was really, really very, very healthy, fair, you can say, or fearless woman. In her time, chain of that silver was much expensive than gold. Gold is everywhere. Silver is very rare. She was very, very special woman. She take care of women, children, yes.
Just one quick question. Why is she known as a king as opposed to a queen?
Because first years of her reign, she presented herself in the form of a masculine.
Okay.
With muscles and beard. But we believe that at the end of her reign, she presented herself in the form of a female.
Okay.
Because Tutmosis III and she, they represented as a co-regent. Co-regents for ruling Egypt for the last 5 years. After this, her name and her inscription been chiseled from all over Egypt. For political reasons, again, or racist reasons. You shouldn't get a woman in the position of the king of Egypt. Because that position is a masculine position. The female. Female should be wife of the god. First of harem, god of the closest to the heart of the god, but not a queen. Queen that not exist in ancient Egyptian language. Well, follow me, guys.
Let me ask him why they're not.
Nefertari, guys. He became the king. He became a king for 3 years. And married as well. And it's fertility. Rise of fertility and rise your power of luck. Optimus, you can see the lady. She walking 7 times.
The scarab.
And clock direction. Against clock direction.
Fertility and luck.
7 times, that's rising your luck power. Right, 7 times right side, right direction for your fertility. You can be pregnant without the man. Karnak, it's a beetle.
It's a beetle.
And by the way, in the mummy movie show you that one is really scary, enter your skin, eat your flesh. La, it's a symbol for the good luck and for re-exist, rebirth. It's a good symbol, not bad. Last thing, check behind. Now you can see the 2 obelisks. Which one is bigger? You see the size matter now, huh? The second obelisk will have fallen and broken. We bring the rest of it here.
That's what she said. Size. Nothing.
What does that come
No, nothing.
Yeah.
That's a barbershop joke.
YouTube
What's going on, people? I'm at the amazing Karnak temple, one of the greatest constructions in ancient history. It's like a mini Wakanda in here. It's just complexity of stones, of oblongs. I'm truly mesmerized. I think this is probably one of the highlights of the trip. As you can see, just the infrastructure itself is so intricate, so precise, so complex, so vast in terms of square miles. It truly is a national treasure of Egypt, and I'm glad I came here to the Karnak temple. If you come to Luxor, make sure you come to the Karnak temples.
All the way south to Abu Simbel, back to Aswan, and then you take the cruise going down the River Nile towards Luxor. On the way, that's Komambo. The one we have the always Etmo, the one we should visit today, and we leave it to next day tomorrow. And here we are, Luxor. Luxor to the east and west. There's the city of Luxor. East side, you'll find the 2 major temples. There was other temples, by the way, most of them damaged. The biggest and the main, Al-Aqsa. So 2 flags here and 2 flags there. Imagine how was it before? Paintings, scriptures, numbers inscribed inside. Why did it insist to do that? You can't tell.
Right now, guys, we're at the famous Luxor temple in Luxor. So we've gone from Aswan to Luxor, the famous Luxor temple. Again, one of the most mesmerizing temples I've ever seen, for sure. So I'm going to show you guys around so that you see, marvel at the history, the chematology, the science and mathematics involved in making all areas of the temple.
He married a woman, her name is T. We believe she might be a Nubian woman because hair is thicker, a bit darker skin. The figures of her face kind of like close to a Nubian face. So why she is a Nubian woman or Nubian queen? He married her to get the two nations one. Our queen is Nubian, their king is Egyptian. Understand me? So two nations got the same. Tutankhamun, when he ruled Egypt, his father already was the heroic pharaoh. Most of the Egyptian royal community, priests, nobility, they left him and abandoned his own teaching or his own religion or cult. He stayed back to Luxor here, changed his name to Tutankhamun, and finished the 14 large pillars here, which built it by his grandfather. Amunhotep III. Amunhotep. Amun is pleased. That's his own name meaning. He returned back, scripted, finished it, made himself the king of Egypt, and ruled Egypt for almost 10 years. After this, Tutankhamun left his young widow, Anexinamun. Even she changed her name from Anexatun to Anexinamun. After he left her as a young widow, we believe that she sent a message to the Syrian king to send his son. She will marry him and make him the king of Egypt. So many from the royal community trying to marry her, especially he was his vizier. Actually, he was a vizier of his father, during his grandfather, kind of really old man. Ruled Egypt after Tutankhamun just for 3 years. And he was almost 70 years old. Tomb of located west of the Valley of the Kings. Originally, that's the tomb of Tutankhamun. Tutankhamun, what happened? When he dies, they replace the tombs. Give him a very small tomb in the Valley of the Kings, was already cut it there, and the big one give it to And to prove it, Tutankhamun ruled for 10 years. Ruled for 3 years. How come I's tomb equals 3 or 4 times size of Tutankhamun? And if you enter the both tombs, looks like the same artist. Same hand writing or handcraft or hand skill. Looks like the same one who did the both. That proof, Tutankhamun when he dies, take his own position. How come that easily? When the next Amun sent a message to the Syrian king to send his own son to Egypt to marry him, make him the king of Egypt, she want to marry a royal son. Royal man, make him the king. She want to marry one of the common. I am a daughter of the god. I have the blue blood in my veins. I can choose any man to make him the king of Egypt. And that's why she wanted to take or accept the proposal of all royal community or royal generals. So what happened? That prince on the way to Egypt, there was an ambush.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Hello.
What's he doing?
Yeah.
Why are you taking a picture for us?
What's he doing?
What?
Well, Anexinamun, she disappeared from history. No one knows what happened to Anexinamun. Maybe I forced her to marry him. And after his marrying, she just disappeared. He killed her. But I don't think he gets rid of her that easily. But still, if she dies, where is her tomb? Not just the body and treasure, where is her tomb? Where her body resting there. Never found her mummy. We found the cartouche, a ring with 2 cartouches. And Anexinamun. And that proved that she been forced to marry him. And he get rid of her. After death of Tutankhamun, ruled with no successor. Other man ruled, or other king ruled. His name is Hur Muhib, was a really great warrior, but died with no successor. What makes the general of the army became the king. His name is Ramesses. He is Ramesses the First. New dynasty, new age, new family. Ramesses the First, Seti the First, and then Ramesses the Second, and so on. So the last final kings of the previous dynasty, he is Tutankhamun, a royal king. But shit happens, he just can't. Inside.
As you can see, guys, truly remarkable art in the Luxor temple. Particular focus on King Tutankhamun, who only ruled for 10 years, but obviously was dedicated to his grandfather, Amenhotep IV. You see many pillars of Tutankhamun in the Luxor temple, as well as Amenhotep IV. Wow. Leaving Luxor temple. Amazing to see in the night. Incredible views with the light where the gods lived.